and CEO of Crystals and Chai. Welcome. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I tried to reserve Mondays for energy healing and related, but this week is going to be about witchcraft because I incorporate witchcraft in my life and my business. In previous episode, I did say that I'm a very proud witch, and I am. So a little excerpt, I can't pronounce that, from an earlier episode. So my own quote: I am a witch, and I have been one for as long as I can remember. I love herbs, crystals, intentions, and learning from other witches. I may not be your typical witch, but in every aspect of my business and life, as an intuitive medium crystal energy healer, I is amplified by my intuition and long history in understanding the healing arts through witchcraft. I let the craft come naturally through my work and my products, so while I won't specifically make witchcraft the main subject of this podcast or YouTube, it will be an element that brings dimension and depth to the content I speak on. And that is a quote from a previous episode. So I was hesitant about doing this just because of the stigma, and then I realized I'm no longer in the closet as the broom witch. Anyway, so I decided to do this. So I'd love your comment if you have one on this. And this is just basically going to probably be my one and only one on this. So anyway, I am reading from my OneNote to keep me on track. Witches have a stigma. Some listening to this or watching may be a witch or a warlock themselves, and I'd love your input. From the research I've done, my understanding is that when witches use herbs, when the doctors weren't able to help patients way back in like the 13th, 14th century, they got a stigma. And when the doctors could not help, basically it was called evil because they were kind of outdoing the doctor, I guess you could say. And by doctors, they are not the same as the doctors that we call them today. Even the word doctor has evolved, but that's not all what this podcast is. This episode is about. The stigma and the killing started earlier in the 1300s, according to History.com. Also, according to an article that I read by Elizabeth Foster, and I'm going to totally blunder this up, Feigenbaum, in the Trinity College of Hartford, Connecticut. Not verbatim, it's summarized. The reason for killing witches was due to religion and law, all because they thought that witches were a part of Satan. End of the summary. First, understand that witches are elemental. The pentacle, for example, is a 5-star, which represents the elements: fire, water, earth, spirit, and air. Not in that order. The pentacle has two points on the bottom, not one, which is believed to be the sign of Satan. The second, that means you actually believe that Satan exists. I do not. Some witches were persecuted because of gross misunderstanding and feared for what imagination can do to the mind. Back in those days, it didn't take much for somebody to say something and it just became true. Another valuable point is that the article written by same person, Elizabeth Foster-Feigenbaum, quote, "The persecution of accused witches throughout the Middle Ages in Europe reflects upon a time period that was perhaps frantic with panic, but more likely brimming with general religious fervor, a communal fear of the devil, and a power-hungry Catholic Church." End quote. I could keep going about this subject, witches and warlocks. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this. As an eclectic witch, I'm an energy healer who works with herbs and crystals. I make tinctures to help people with various ailments, some with crystals because crystals have healing energies as well. I prefer to think of witches and warlocks as people who want to help sick and even prevent illness, if possible. Witchcraft is a beautiful craft, love of earth and the universe. So that being said, I'd love to hear what you think. If you want to hear more about witchcraft, let me know, and I will definitely put more of that into this podcast. And as for the last note, because it's the end of this episode, the last note is don't forget I am an energy healer, and you can schedule your session today. I look forward to helping you with your energy needs. And if you have any questions or comments, please comment on the episode or the YouTube video. You can email me at crystalsnchihealing@gmail.com. That link will be below. I hope that this gives you a better understanding. So what is the next podcast episode going to be about? YouTube going to be about? You'll have to follow me and find out. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. And if you have any questions, I would love to put those into another episode of just listener and people who are watching this on YouTube. And my Linktree will be in the comments as well as my website. So until next time, thank you for listening and watching, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. Blessed be. And the reference is also to the article is also below. Love, light, blessed be, and namaste. Thank you so much.